The relationship that has captivated everyone has certainly taken advantage of the celebrity opportunities afforded him by his relationship. We have heard the criticisms, we have heard the talk about Travis Kelce that he doesn't look like the same guy. You believe that he'll bounce back? You got to start wondering, is it going to be the farewell tour? Sometimes we don't find out that they're gone until after the season's over. He obviously has some Hollywood aspirations. I got to give Travis credit. Somehow or another, they're making this thing last. This is the Ricky Cobb Show, presented by Prize Picks. NFL preseason's underway. College football is right around the corner, my friends. Don't miss any of the action this season's. Great stuff happening. Get on Prize Picks right now, and you're only going to enhance the enjoyment that football already brings you. Travis Kelce, as I said earlier, is another guy that you got to start wondering, is it going to be the farewell tour at some point? And not every athlete gives us the farewell tour. Sometimes we don't find out that they're gone until after the season's over. And, Travis Kelce has certainly been in the news as much or more than just about any NFL player in recent years. And we certainly know why. The relationship that has captivated everyone, Travis Kelce and America's pop princess, Taylor Swift, still going strong. Somehow. He's lasted longer than all those guys. He should have had an album written about him by now. I got to give Travis credit. Somehow or another, they're making this thing last. And Travis, as I think would be tempting for any of us, has certainly taken advantage of the celebrity opportunities afforded him by his relationship. We've seen him pitch in everything from, Chunky Soup to Bud Light to Experian to T-Mobile to State Farm. We've seen him in ads for Pepsi, for Lowe's, for Subway, on down the line. We've seen him out there dancing around. We've seen him making cameo appearances in various places. He obviously has some Hollywood aspirations. And there's not a thing in the world wrong with that. But at the same time, he's not happy with the way that he's played the past couple of seasons. We have heard the criticisms. We have heard the talk about Travis Kelce that he doesn't look like the same guy. That age is starting to creep up on him. And does he still have the focus and the commitment to give everything to the Chiefs as he has throughout his obviously Hall of Fame career? Travis Kelce saying, winning a Super Bowl is the only goal. It's the only goal. It's every goal. So everything that we're hearing right now from Travis Kelce as he advances on up into his 30s is that we're going to get a renewed sense of focus this season from him. He wants a fourth Super Bowl, and he's not content with his performance that we have seen over the past couple of seasons. Last season particularly, not the Travis Kelce that we have been used to. Let's talk about Prize Picks. Travis Kelce, you believe that he'll bounce back? You think Travis Kelce's going to have the season that he believes that he still has within himself as a great player? Maybe you think Aaron Rodgers is overdue to put up a vintage Aaron Rodgers season. Well, Prize Picks is simple to play, and it's an opportunity for you to cash in. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and I don't know. My eyes might be on Travis Kelce and Aaron Rodgers, among others. I said yesterday, Saquon Barkley, what's he going to do as an encore for that 2,000-yard season? Can Joe Burrow come back and exceed 40 touchdown passes again? He led the NFL last year with 43. Well, you follow the game. You follow these players. You've got opinions on this. This is an opportunity to make your picks and cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money on Prize Picks. Best yet, you can download the Prize Picks app today and use my code Ricky, that is R-I-C-K-Y, to get $50 in lineups after you've played your first $5 lineup. That's code Ricky to get $50 in lineups after you have played your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. and run there now and make some money this football season off of your knowledge. I got to think Kelce might be a good value this year for a more selection. With football season here now, and it's in the air, it really is, and it's the best time of the year. Ronnie T-Shirts is on the record that there's no finer time of the year than the beginning of football season. I know that millions of us around this great land agree with that, and we've been talking a lot lately about the rookies in this league. Shedeur Sanders especially has been getting a lot of conversation. That's always going to be the case, especially young quarterbacks. Everybody understandably wants to see Travis Hunter play. Everybody is wondering what's going to happen with the big names who have come into the league. But it's also a reminder this time of the year to think about who are the guys that are about at the finish line. Who are the guys that this might be their last season in the NFL? And what kind of a season can they have to either add to their legacy or perhaps have a season that is not one to remember? A lot of people older than I am remember Willie Mays stumbling around in the outfield during the 1973 World Series. The idea that no matter how graceful you are, no matter how great you are, Father Time is undefeated. I remember growing up another sport, but seeing Muhammad Ali at the end of his career, fighting Larry Holmes. No business being in there, fights that shouldn't have happened. Ali probably fought at least 5 fights more than he should have, if not closer to 10. But great athletes, competitors, they have it within themselves. They want to know what they've got. We saw Tom Brady challenge himself. Shocked us. Went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it was unthinkable after seeing him in New England for all of those years, all of those Super Bowls. And then what does he do? He goes to Tampa Bay, and he wins another one with Bruce Arians. We saw Peyton Manning go to Denver. Unthinkable. Peyton Manning, not a Colt. Johnny Unitas years ago went to the San Diego Chargers, and it didn't work out as well. Joe Namath at the end of his career went to the Los Angeles Rams. It didn't work out so well. So we never know, but Peyton Manning brought home another Super Bowl championship himself in an unusual place. And this year, when we look around the league and we say, who are the guys who have had great careers that this might be it? Travis Kelce is one. We'll talk about him in a moment. Russell Wilson is at an age now where you never know from season to season how much longer he's going to be in the league. And Aaron Rodgers certainly is at the head of the list of guys that if we had to make a projection, we probably would expect that this is Aaron Rodgers' last year in the NFL. The 2 years that he spent in New York didn't work out very well. That's how he was going to write the end of his story. But the story that was written in New York wasn't satisfying. And after months of wondering if his flirtations with the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to come to fruition, here we are, and we're getting ready for the last go-round. I think about it as a fan. Who are the players that you missed out on, that you slept and their career ended before you got around to seeing them in person? I can give you a couple for me. One is Michael Jordan. Never saw Michael Jordan play. That's one that can't be taken off the bucket list now. Once their career is over, yeah, you could see them in person somewhere, but you have missed the magic. I never got to see Jordan play in person. It's a regret. Time got away from me. I never saw Reggie Jackson play in person, although that one was more circumstantial. I was a little kid, and we didn't have interleague play in those days. And so he never came anywhere near me, really, when I was a kid. Never got to see Reggie Jackson play. Maybe it's concert for you. Maybe you look back and you think, man, I really wish that I'd seen that artist. David Bowie and Prince are two for me. Never got to see him. So if you are a fan of Aaron Rodgers, or if you are a fan of Travis Kelce, some of these other big names, time to start thinking a little bit if you're going to make that trip out to a stadium and see them in action or not, because you never know how much longer they're going to be out there. Aaron Rodgers, for his part, is certainly going to be out there for one more year. And the one thing that he is sure of right now is that he hates his helmet. He's not a fan of his helmet. He has been using a Schutt helmet, famous helmet manufacturer, for 20 years. He has been using those products, and the helmet that he has been using in recent years was deemed not safe enough by the NFL. And now there he is looking like some kid that just went out for Pop Warner and all they had were the big kid helmets. And none of them fit his cranium very comfortably. So Rodgers has been complaining about this for a while. I mean, we're right on the eve of the season. Aaron Rodgers just needs a helmet that's not going to come down over his fucking eyes, is apparently job one in Pittsburgh. And it got me thinking about some of the other great big helmets that we have seen through the years. I'll start with Mark Kelso of the Buffalo Bills. Some of you will remember the Mark Kelso helmet. Take a look at that fucker. The majestic glory, as I tweeted here, of the Mark Kelso helmet. Had the extra shell on the outside because he had some concussion issues. And so years before helmet technology got to the point, I think the first thing that strikes me about this is that this helmet doesn't even really look that big anymore after watching NFL games over the past few years. It used to look ridiculously out of place back in the 1990s. Today, I don't know. It doesn't jump out quite as much as it once did. I go back to prehistoric times, the first time that I saw someone wearing a ginormous helmet. I have to go back to the Stone Age for this one, fellas, literally, because it was the Great Gazoo who dropped in on Bedrock. Remember that? I am not the Great Gazoo, by the way. Just in case anyone was wondering. There he is. My head's, my head might be big enough for that helmet, but I actually don't have one. But there's the Great Gazoo. Some people say that he was the moment that the Flintstones jumped the shark. I don't suppose that I could argue with that, but that's quite a large alien cranium that he has there. And then finally, some of you will remember Dark Helmet from Spaceballs, the great Rick Moranis there. And that's kind of the vibe that I got from Aaron Rodgers, just peering out on third down. The Steelers need a big conversion. Can we get somebody should Photoshop a Steelers logo on the side of that helmet, and it could be a little more accurate even than I had imagined. So hopefully Aaron Rodgers will get his helmet situation ironed out, and we'll see how he plays this year. Is this going to be the comeback season? It's been a while in the works. I don't know how the folks in New York are going to feel about it if he comes out and throws 35 touchdown passes for the Steelers this year, but we shall see. Aaron Rodgers has got a problem. After 20 years in the league, now he can't find a helmet that gives him a comfortable fit. The helmet's too big. It's hanging down in his eyes. Look at this. He looks like a peewee leaguer. I have got the solution. Leave it to me as the Super 70s guy. I have been through the archives of the NFL and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I've got the remedy right here. Somebody get me Aaron Rodgers' phone number, because here it is. Aaron, I'll solve your problems. This is not going to be too big. Coach, I think my helmet's too tight. You're fine. I can't feel my arms. Coach, is that supposed to happen? How the fuck?
How do you get it on?
That thing should have a Dairy Queen sundae in it. I don't know how he got it on. And that's not going to come off easy either, is it?
No, like Ricky, look where the face mask is. It's at his lips. It's not even like his entire jaw is exposed.
It looks like a duck bill protruding from his face.
You should retweet that and tag Aaron in. I don't think Aaron's on X, but I don't know. Get McAfee or somebody to get a hold of this thing.
Look at that. I mean, you really wonder, like, did he request a small helmet? I mean, not everybody was wearing a helmet that small. I've seen plenty of 1950s NFL. I mean, not everybody is cramming their dome.
I mean, do you know how much that would hurt? Don't you remember?
Like a knick-knack.
You remember putting on a helmet when you were a kid that was probably too small, and you'd put it on and it would squeeze up against your ears and it would hurt so freaking bad.
Yes.
Like, imagine playing in a game. That's just wearing it. Imagine getting hit with that thing on. Like, he had to put like
a protection that wasn't affording him.
I think it'd be the
it's like
opposite.
Based on what we know now,
I think it would make it worse.
Elements were mostly
I think it'd make it worse
as a placebo effect. Yeah, that couldn't have been doing him any favors in terms of preventing CTE.
Yeah, I keep the conversation intimate. We had a very lengthy conversation. He came to me and just, wanted to talk. And I'm always there, as said earlier, of giving my perspective on what I see and how I've gone about things. And ultimately, it takes a great deal of patience and hard work and a sense of resilience. You got to want it. You got to want it. And so I'm supporting him from where I am and wishing him nothing but the best with his opportunities.
Well, there's a scene that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see. Shedeur Sanders leaving practice due to a tweaked oblique. Ron, I believe that was the name of one of your bands in college. One of your less successful efforts. We are being told that Shedeur Sanders, at least as of the moment, there's no indication to believe that this is a serious injury, although we'll certainly be following the reports. But the bigger story here is that he got a impromptu golf cart Uber ride from his driver, Jalen Hurts there, who was talking about it. Ron, these joint practices, they're becoming a bigger thing in the NFL nowadays. You'll have two teams get together. Usually these would be two teams that aren't divisional rivals, teams that aren't playing or don't have reason to believe that they're going to play. And let's face it, if the Eagles don't have the Cleveland Browns on their schedule this year, there's a pretty safe chance they're not going to face them in the Super Bowl.
Very
so probably the Browns are a safe team for the Eagles to maybe reveal a little bit in practice with. But what do you make of the idea of joint practices in the modern NFL?
I mean, I feel like this has been going on for actually a bit of time. You always hear you hear the coaches talk about it, you hear the players talk about it, and they say, man, we are just sick and tired of hitting each other. We want to hit somebody else. And I would think that in most cases, when you're practicing against your own teammates, you're probably holding back a little bit. And so it's probably not a bad idea to go against somebody else because you're probably going to go full go. It would just suck though if you got hurt during one of those things. But I guess it sucks if you get hurt during practice, right? So,
well, I want to bring in Ricky Cobb show NFL joint practice correspondent producer Tim
Senior
right now. Yeah,
Senior.
Tim knows a little bit. Yeah, he's a senior joint practice guy here. Tim, I know that you know some of the rationales for this. Why is it that teams feel like this is going to benefit them? Obviously, some of the points that Ronnie made speak for themselves.
Yeah, good stuff. So from dildo throwing correspondent last week, Ronnie, to me with the joint practice correspondent. No, Ronnie touched on it. Guy, at this point in camp, guys are tired of going against their teammates. So hey, bring in a star cornerback, may go up against a star receiver. You get a different look. Instead of the risk of injury in a preseason game, you can do sort of the scripted situations, down and distance. You could set it up, 2-minute drill. It really is just to give, as Ronnie said, a fresher look, a quicker look. Younger players can really show their different skill set with different schemes. So it really is mixing it up. Ultimately, too, Ricky, there's a business model here. They can make it's more fan friendly, cost effective. Two teams, can schedule it. They're reducing the cost. There's quite a few. Ronnie's right. It sort of took hold maybe 15 years ago or so. I think the Giants and the Patriots were some of the first to do it. They both ended up with Super Bowl victories not too soon thereafter. So I like it. It just is such a long, long way from what the hell teams were doing in NFL training camps, in the 70s and 80s, where, good Lord, guys were probably going to do their night shift work after they practiced all day.
It's a long way from this as well, Tim. Take a look at this. This is a regular season game. This isn't even a practice right here. This is what the NFL used to look like back in the days. This motherfucker looks like he walks straight from invading Normandy to the game, drinks his water with a ladle, and there's a goddamn hobo and a 19th century teenager behind him. And I don't know how, but look. Yeah, am I lying? Don't tell me football's better now. That helmet was
we're never going to
not
see muddy uniforms again, are we?
preventing any concussions. Dude, look at his helmet. He's got it propped back on his head. Or maybe that's just what it looked like. Maybe it's not tilted back on his head, guys.
Yeah, I think he's got one of those small helmets too.
That's just how it fitted.
Hey, OutKick fans on YouTube, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and make your way over to OutKick.com where you can watch the full episode.